Dear students, in my earlier class, I have discussed about the dividend theories. There are actually three popular theories. One is Walter model, another is Gordon model, and later on I will discuss about MM model. Today I will discuss about the Gordon model. Before discussing Gordon model, like Walter models, there are some assumptions. What are the assumptions? The firm are considering that everything is financed from equity. Look at that, the firm is all equity firm. That means only equity and retained earnings are only the source of capital structure. Okay, number 2, R equal to K. R and K are constant, sorry, not equal, constant. That means they are not changing in the meantime. R means the internal rate of return and K is the cost of capital. And the third one is, it is assumed that the firm will continue forever. Going concern concept is assumed. Next, corporate tax rate does not exist. Next, the retention ratio B once decided upon is constant. That means earlier I have told there are two things. Once the firm has earned the profit, it can be retained, it can be paid out. Once it has been paid out means it is paid out in terms of dividend. But if it retains the amount, that is known as retention ratio. Suppose the company decides that they will pay dividend at the rate of 70%. That means 70% will be the dividend payout ratio and 30% will be the retention ratio, and retention ratio is denoted by B, and vice versa. Suppose the firm is decided that they will pay 30% as dividend, automatically 70% will be the retention ratio. The cost of capital is greater for the growth rate. Okay, now ultimately the formula came as Gordon models. This is the formula: P equals to E1 minus B divided by K minus BR. P is the market price of share, E is the earnings per share, B is the retention ratio, K is the cost of capital, BR equal to G or growth rate in R, R is the rate of return. Like Walter's model, also here three concepts: growth firm, normal firm and decline firm. What is growth firm? As simple as that, in terms of R and K, when R greater than K, it is known as growth firm. In other terms, growth firm means the market price of the share increases as it increase the retention ratio. That means if the company does not pay anything, that we will find that the market price is maximum. And the normal firm is that it doesn't depend on the dividend payout ratio. Whatever may be the dividend, either it is 0 or it is 100%, the market price will remain same. That means it is irrelevant of dividend paid. Next is decline firm. Decline firm is R less than K. In case of decline firm is that just opposite of growth firm. Value of the market price increases as the firm paid the more dividend. As the firm pays more dividend, the market price will go on increasing. Now I am moving to the sum. Look at the question. Cost of capital K is 10%, earning per share equal to 10, rate of return is given like that 15, 10 and 8. Like Walter's model, there are also 3 R we have considered. R, look at the question, one R is greater than 10%, one R is equal to K and another R is less than K. That means we should consider R greater than K, less than K and equal to K. And retention ratio and payout ratio is given. What I have told you earlier, retention ratio plus dividend payout ratio must be equal to 100% or equal to 1 in terms of arithmetic. Look at here, if the retention ratio is 0, automatically it means the firm pays the full amount as dividend. That's why it is looks like 100. Look at the second one, 10 and 90. If you add this 100, 30 and 70. Retention is 30, automatically paid out is dividend payout ratio is 70. 50-50, as the retention ratio is 50, payout ratio is 50. Retention ratio is 60, payout ratio is 40. Automatically, how many options are there? Earlier in Walters model, dividend has been given. How many dividends was there? 4. 4 into 3 options. We have calculated in terms of 4 into 12. 4 into 3, 12. Now how many options are there? 5. Automatically 5 into 3, there will be 15 calculation. Now we move on to the sum. Look at here. Number A. When look at the question, B equals to 0. B equals to 0. B equals to 0. They have calculated earlier automatically. Once B equals to 0, automatically BR equals to 0. Now we are putting all those values. What was the formula? E is 10. E is 10. 10 into 1 minus 0 divided by, look at the question, K is 0.10 minus 0. Automatically what they have found? P equal to 100. In the same way we have calculated everything. B equals to, earlier it was B equals to 0. In the next case it is 0.10. Why it is 0.10? Look at the question, retention ratio is 10. In terms of decimal it is 0.10. Then what they have calculated? BR. In the same way just they are putting the value. What they have got? The value is 106. Okay. Next one, it is considering B equals to 0.30, the value is 127. And the fourth one, when B equal to 50%, 0.50, it came out as 200. And the last one, when B equals to 0.60, the farm value came as 400. What does it mean? As the retention ratio, once the retention ratio is 0, the when the farm is paying, when R greater than K, it is actually considered as the growth farm. When the retention ratio is minimum, the value is minimum 100. But when the retention ratio is 60%, but the dividend payout ratio is 40%, the value came out as 400. Okay. In the same way, in the second case, what we have found? In all the cases, look at here, the value of the share, market price of share 100 in all that cases. That's why it is called as normal farm. And in the last case, what we have found? When R less than K, that means R less than K, decline farm. The value per share decreases with an increase in the retention ratio. As retention ratio increases, the value of the farm, look at the here, B is 0. In that case, the value is 100. But when the retention ratio is 60%, the maximum one, the value is the least one. Okay. Look at here, when B equals to 0, the retention ratio is minimum. The value of share is also minimum. But when dividend is paid out as 40%, the retention ratio is maximum, the value of the share is minimum. This concludes the discussion about Gordon's model. In the next class, I will discuss about the MM hypothesis.